Hey, welcome back to the show. VetMet. Well, hey, welcome back to the show, man. I'm your host, AJ Williams, Saving Lives, Inc., the VetMet Report. Well, last week, I guess we ended off with the education and training. We talked about I went over the four main education and training packages was like the post Vietnam, the Montgomery GI Bill for active duty, the Montgomery GI Bill for the Selective Reserve, and the National Call to Service Program. So, again, I want to welcome you back to the show. And today we're going to talk we're going to get into some employment benefits, which always encompass a whole granular of things. So I want to pull up. I know you're asking me, well, where can we get this information from? Well, you can always go to this is our info page, Saving Lives Mental.org, info at savinglivesmental.org, or you can always drop a call, 773-675-4050. And again, like I always extend the courtesy that you can get your host, AJ Williams, at awilliams64.aw@gmail.com. So we want to talk a little about, well, we finishing the gamut of 19 so-called uh, packages they have in the veterans book here. I don't know if you can see it. So we're on like number 3 now. Number 4, we at employment and benefits. So they have a couple of, about 6 or 7 packages or programs for the vet. And under one of the first ones, under this employment benefits package, we come to the VRE. Now, for you soldiers and sailors, Victor, Romeo, Echo, the VRE is the Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment. Now, this program and benefits are extended to the service-connected disabled vet, which also is maintaining suitable employment. What is suitable employment? I guess they evaluate that when you have it and they see it, whatever you put down. Also has a component in there, independent living services, especially for severe disabled vets that are not ready to seek employment. I mean, you just came back from Middle East, or this happened to you in Vietnam, and you were just totally, incapacitated due to your disabilities and to your wounds. So they have that piece in there. Also, to continuing, they have, which, we all talk about, we guys, vets, when we sit out in the VA, I hear, man, I applied for this job, I applied for this, and wah. What is really going on with the federal jobs? Because, I mean, that's That what got my notion, man. Why am I able to get a federal job? Well, definitely have to. One of the big criteria for this is when you were. Now, this has nothing to do if you're disabled or have some disability or you got wounded. You have to have gotten an honorable, or if it's a general, it has to be under honorable conditions. If it's under dishonorable conditions, you're not going to get it. And they also have for the widows or widowers. So that means if the spouses of a veteran. Now I didn't know that a veteran who did under honorable conditions, severely disabled and deaf, died on active duty. Now, of course, there's going to be some, I don't know how specific criteria you have to meet, but if you died, I mean, that's pretty much. But I saw a quick clip on that. Let me and you, as I say, all these programs are that piece of paper says it all. When you go to the VA or you go to the veterans, you go to get health care or you go to seek other benefits other than health care, they want to see that DD 214 or those ETS papers, those exiting from duty papers. And it needs to be medical discharge, general, under honorable. But if you got an honorable, no question about it. Now, you come out on the dishonorable, you might have to. I'm not saying there's ever, never no daylight for you. You're gonna probably have to go see some senators, some representatives, and some congressmen to get some things changed off. Especially if you went through a court martial, you went through a couple of other things, you might have to fight it. But if you have that honorable discharge on that DD 214 or the NGB of with the guard or the reserves, man, you get to walk right on in. No questions asked, man, because that's the first thing they always ask. Where's this? I always ask for your last four. What's that last four, soldier? Blah, blah, blah. Pull it up. So, if you got that honorable discharge, man, and you need some benefits, hey, you need to look into it. Like I said, go to our site, email me, call me at the Saving Lives Inc., and we will get you there. And we also do some classes there. We can help you out before we send you home. We won't just turn you away and say, well, now you're a vet, get out of here. No, no, no. It's not what we do. Not what we do. They also have a program for if you're a state employee and you are in the Air Guard. Now, something I didn't know either. You know, you can receive 15 days of military leave per year, and 60 days for special training. Now, I think I remember being a reserve and guard. You have to go to, I forgot the term, but you go to, you do that once a year training, usually hits in the middle of the summer. You go for 2 weeks and you train like if you was going on the movement, if you was on active duty. So guys in the Air Guard, I don't know why I believe they still have it for the National Guard too. I don't know why it's just for it says Air Guard, but I believe when I was in the Guard, if I was working, I could take those days and so forth, and as long as I had orders and showed my employer this is what's going on. Um, Now, you always hear about another added thing about the state employment preference. Now, this is, you're supposed to get the preference when you are applying for a job working with the state. Now, that's supposed to be just like the federal government. I mean, the state and boom. So like they got jobs for vets. Now that goes on along with the state employment preference. They have the IDS, the Employment Department of Employment Services provides a veteran a representative to help veterans receive training and job placement. Resources with other partner agencies. Matter of fact, we'll take a quick looky at that.
Served in the U.S. military, you'll complete the front side of the Veterans Intake Form, which is used by our staff to get you to the right resources based on your responses.
Well, yeah, so that's another added attraction if you're gonna, well, you don't have to it's from the Illinois Department of Employment Services, but it helps you, they can help you as a vet get employment and training for employment for any type of job, like it's federal or so forth or state, but they give you training, and I believe that's a great package benefit to go in there, get some free training, and possibly be placed in a decent paying job. You know, I know I don't want to knock Walmart and Target, but after being a soldier, and especially if you're a soldier with a lot of responsibilities, family, wife, kids, car notes, house notes, let's be real. We need something substantial, not just some fly by night stuff, We need something that we can sink our teeth into. And I mean, I think that's only fair. Also, to help, again, another added attraction or component that our great state of Illinois does, as far as employment incentives to help boost and push the higher vet, is that they have a veteran tax credit, which the state provides a business that hires a vet $1,200. Now, I don't know if he gets $1,200 for every vet, but hey, that could, I guess that could amount up. You have 5 or 10 vets on, that's a nice piece of money, especially if you're running a business and taxes is up to wazoo. That can help compensate and balance some of those tax issues for you. Also, Illinois has, I guess, some more kudos for them, the Illinois reemployment rights. Now, this is for National Guards called active duty, and in protection under state law. In addition, is also a federal law, unless you're performing a state active duty. Only the state law applies. Well, what do you expect? You can't get everything, but hey, I know you should. We should if you put that time out there. Yeah, again, I made it home without any major scratches on me, but it was the potential that I gave that I probably couldn't make it home. That is worth all the coins in the world. Especially you got loved ones waiting here back for you, wife, children, somebody depending on you. Well, heck, you want to make it back, but I guess when you're gone, you won't feel it. But still, you put up that ultimate sacrifice. You put yourself in harm's way for the country, not just for my city, for my block, for my neighborhood, for my high school, for my college. You put it in for the nation. And hey, let's get taken care of. Let's do what's right. Let's do what's decent. That's all we can ask. Well, that's actually a short one, so we're going to recoup on, I don't know, we probably had some new viewers, probably missed last week or didn't catch it. I guess we can probably slow down a little bit. I would like to go back in and recap over some of the things we went over, the education and training, especially those Montgomery GI bills. There's so much that we went over. I mean, you just can't keep up with it. Like, for one thing, the Montgomery GI Bill for active duty, the MGIBAD. I mean, that was just, it's a program sometimes known as Chapter 30. Provides education benefits to veterans and servicemen who have at least 2 years of active duty. Now, the type of assistance may be used for college degree, certificate programs, technical or vocational courses, flight training, apprenticeships or on-the-job training, high-tech training, licensing and certification tests, entrepreneurship training, certain entrance examinations, and correspondence courses. Remedial, deficiency, and refresher courses may be approved under the certain circumstances. Benefits are generally payable for 10 years following your release from honorable active service. Now, available benefit and eligibility. Eligible servicemen may receive up to 36 months of education benefits. The monthly benefit paid to you is based on the type of training you take, the length of your service, and remember I mentioned about the categories. Mentioned about the 600 buyer program. Now, I was not really familiar with that. I did a little recruiting. I don't recall that 600 buyout program, and maybe I dropped the ball, I missed something. But that 600 buyout program, if you're in there, if you don't leave, this is might something you put on your mind. If you got another 4 or 5 years of service to do, some servicemen may contribute up to additional 600 to the GI Bill to receive increased monthly benefits when you come out and go to school. For the additional $600 contribution, you may receive up to $5,400 in additional GI Bill benefits. The additional contribution must be made while you're on active duty. So hey, don't go out and buy the new Jaguar or anything like that. I mean, hey, it's what we want to do, especially a young soldier, and you don't have a wife and kids yet. Yeah, go out. Hey, I mean, you making a sacrifice for your country, might as well go out and enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. But hey, let's kind of think about what's going to happen if you come back to the block, as we said, when you get back out. Or even if you're going to be a lifer. You probably, if you're going to do 30 years, you still be a young man, young 50-something, young 40-something. You might want to come back out and finish, go to college and be a scientist. Yeah, you be going to school a little late in age, but hey, put the money in there and the benefits will be there while you waiting on a good job. So yeah, that and the eligibility, you may be eligible if you had an honorable discharge and you have to have a high school diploma or that GED. It used to be in some cases what I was telling you back in days when I was in, and in the Vietnam guys, hey, while you was in basic training in AIT, they were taking guys out, fast tracking them to get a high school diploma. Because actually, recruiters got a little more bonus for all the applicants they put in with a high school diploma. So if some of them slipped through and you didn't get some bonuses too, the GI, the applicant itself. But if you can get through there and finish that, sometimes someone was in MOSs, which military occupational specialty, you could coop a couple of extra dollars before you finish AIT. And you can get them dollars while you serving your own active duty. Always come in handy for a down payment on that new ride, especially being a young new soldier. But hey, that's what we do. Now, I talked about early the categories. Remember there was 4 categories. Now I'm going to category 4. To get to be eligible and so forth, they had a category 4 on active duty on 10/9/96. It's for the younger soldiers, and you have money remaining in a VEAP. Now that was the the Vietnam Educational Assistant Program. I had the VEAP. I had that while I was in there. I should have put a little more money. I didn't think about it. Well, I did. I stopped it, and then I did a lot of other things. But hey, you elected the MGIB by 10/97, or you entered full-time National Guard duty under Title 32. I mean, you got active and so forth. You got activated. And again, for those type of training assistants, maybe college degree, certificate programs, and all that other so forth stuff. But again, if you want to know and go and get this information, you can always go to, this is our information page, savinglives.org. Email me at info@savinglivesmental.org, 773-675-4645. 4050. And again, I extend the courtesy that you all can email me directly, awilliams64.aw@gmail.com. You can call me at that number, or you can email me. I guess we still got a few more minutes, so I still can hit some other things. Now, I guess the bulk, I won't say the bulk, because we still have Vietnam, we still have Korean war vets. And so we still cannot, overlook them. So we still need to know about the benefits, because there's a lot of benefits there out there. And I kind of miss some. I want to go over that prisoner of war. Now, U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs presumes that a former POW were in prison for any length of time during the military, following his service-connected conditions, psychosis, anxiety, dysmetric disorder, residuals of frostbite, post-traumatic or osteoarthritis, heart disease or hypertensive vascular disease, stroke, or any of that. A former PO who were in prison for that has about 90 days, has 30 days, are presumed to have the following symptoms. So, hey, you need to look around that. And we know we're about to wrap up. So, again, it's always been a pleasure for you. And it looks like our time just goes so fast. But hey, we will be back next week. And I will see you then.